teachers, we must be committed to considering the individual differences in our students. It's increasingly difficult for middle school teachers to accommodate the development needs and interests of all our students because these children are transforming into young adults who are dealing with issues these kids never faced in elementary school. Things like an emphasis on academic achievement rather than an emphasis on enjoying learning. These tweens also face puberty and the physical changes of their body and hormones that go along with it. As a teacher, you must be aware of the tremendous diversity of young adolescents when planning instruction. 3 characteristics in specific must be examined in order to understand the development of middle school students. These 3 characteristics include the physical, psychosocial, and cognitive development. Once these 3 areas are recognized and better understood, then teachers are better able to plan instruction. The first development we will look at is the physical development of 10 to 15-year-olds. Kids in this age range will reach a period where they see dramatic changes in their body. However, the rates that one student matures will be different from the next student. Their growth has no set timeline and is inconsistent, which you can see clearly in the classroom. Some students have grown like beanpoles, while their best friend could be the same size as a higher level elementary student. The girls specifically seem to develop much sooner than their male counterparts and mature 1.5 to 2 years earlier. As a result of these growth spurts and the tendency for these young adolescents to be fairly active, they may grow fatigued in the classroom, which is why it's important for teachers to implement active participation in the classroom rather than having students sit passively. Teachers should also provide physical activities that avoid competition between late versus early bloomers. Along with the onset of puberty, students may develop longer limbs, protruding ears, and a larger nose. It's important not to mock or make fun of these students at this time because they develop low self-esteem at this age and will inevitably compare their bodies to their peers. As a teacher, you must educate your students about developmental changes, whether it's in a sex ed course or even implemented into a lesson. You can also model good keeping in health by bringing nutritious snacks to class and encourage students to do the same. The next development your students will face is the psychosocial development. Students develop a strong need to be included in a group. They shift from having parents and teachers as being important to developing a strong need for peer approval. Interaction with these peers can be structured positively by letting students work in small groups cooperatively. The kids that are just entering middle school will be faced with the difficulty of adapting to a new school, new group of teachers rather than a homeroom teacher, and increased size of the building. These young adolescents may challenge adult authority and seek to make their own decisions. The teacher should encourage the student to be independent, but should also explain they must do so in a safe manner. It's also important to provide students with educational experiences that boost self-esteem, teach socialization skills, and develop student-teacher relationships. The final development students ages 10 to 15 will face are their cognitive development. John Piaget's cognitive theory asserts that children from ages 7 to 11 are in their concrete operational stage, and from ages 11 and up fit into the formal operational period. As students enter middle school, they are in a transition from concrete thinking to abstract thinking, where they are able to think abstractly and reflectively. Teachers need to embrace this by engaging students in lots of hands-on activities to better understand abstract concepts. These kids also respond well to real-life situations and becoming efficient problem solvers and are able to make connections between prior learning and the new things they're learning. However, not all adolescents reach the formal operational stage at the same time. Therefore, educators should avoid making the late developers think beyond what they are capable of. Try to adapt content to students' various attention spans and learning styles, and also provide exploratory options such as drama, music, art, or second language classes. Students have many developments, needs, and interests, as you have learned. Teachers of the middle years need to take into effect the physical, psychosocial, and cognitive developments into their instructional planning, so they can meet their students' needs to the best of their ability. The wide range of developmental and individual differences makes it difficult for the task of whole class learning. By making the classroom a positive environment, you're able to give your students a feeling of belonging and feeling emotionally secure. With this positive environment, you will establish a place where students are encouraged to take risks and not be afraid to make mistakes or questions. Thank you.